What's up guys, Anthony here. In this video, I'm giving you my personal top 10 reasons why I absolutely love living in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's get started. What's up guys, my name's Anthony Laborde and I'm a realtor here in Atlanta, Georgia with North Atlanta Living in Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If this is your first time to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. You're gonna learn everything and anything there is to know about living in Atlanta. And if you yourself are moving to Atlanta, or maybe you know somebody relocating here, share this with them, because in this video, I'm gonna cover my personal top 10 reasons as to why I love living in Atlanta. Let's get started. Starting the list off at number 10 is one of my absolute favorites, and that is our food. Here in the South, we're known for a lot of things, our Southern drawl, our charm, but definitely our food. But when most people think of Southern food, they think of soul food or barbecue, that stick to the ribs, steak and potatoes. Believe me, we have our fair share of that cuisine here, but because we're an international transplant city and we have some of the most famous people in the world work here, play here, travel here, we have some of the very best, top-rated, award-winning chefs and restaurants on the planet. It doesn't matter what side of town you're in, you can find the smallest hole-in-the-wall restaurant all the way up to the 5-star award-winning, top-of-the-line restaurant. If you're a foodie, Atlanta, Georgia is the place to be. So number 9 on my list is the weather. Now, before I get started, you're gonna hear some people say like, oh my gosh, it's so hot down there. If you've been to the South, it does get warm down here. But I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. And if you've ever been to Houston, that's insane. 100 degrees Fahrenheit with 100% humidity, screw that. Like, it's off the charts hot. Here, yes, it gets warm. It's summertime. You go out, you enjoy the lakes, the rivers, the ponds, everything. And then the rest of the seasons, that's what's so amazing, is our winters are a joke here. But our fall and our spring, the crisp in the air, you get to experience all the seasons with not any two extremes. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place to spend year round. No matter what the season, you're gonna love it. So when it comes to festivals, very few cities rival Atlanta, Georgia. In terms of the music scene, it's just off the charts here. If you know anything about Atlanta, we're the home of hip hop. So our hip hop festivals are just off the charts. Then we have Pride Festival, jazz and blues, EDM, electronic, country western, you name it across the board. Every artist comes here to play. And then beyond that, you get out in the suburbs and you get a lot of the holiday festivals, a lot of the arts and crafts. Just anything and everything that you can imagine in terms of an outdoor festival goes on here in Atlanta. It's absolutely amazing. So reason number 7 on why I love living in Atlanta, Georgia are the professional sports. Now most cities, they can pretty much boast about the big 3, and that's the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball, which we have the Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Hawks, but we also have the Atlanta Dream, which is the WNBA, and the 2018 MLS World Champion Atlanta United soccer team. If you've never been to a soccer match, man, let me tell you something. I'm a baseball guy. Baseball is pretty chill. Soccer is off the charts. Man, we were in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That place was just, they got flags, you got horns, it's like fire going off. Amazing, amazing experience. But that's only 5. We have 4 more. So in addition to the big 3 sports, and now the big 5, Atlanta also has the Atlanta Roller Girls, which is a professional Atlanta roller derby team. They were founded back in 2004. Then in 2015, Atlanta brought on the Atlanta Hustle. And this is our newest professional ultimate frisbee team. They play in the American Ultimate Disc League. In 2016, we got our first professional lacrosse team, the Atlanta Blaze. They're gonna be playing in the Major League Lacrosse. And then just recently, we got Australian Rules Rugby here in Atlanta. Rugby Atlanta, they're gonna start their play next year in 2020. Reason number 6 on my list is our education system. Now, depending on where you get your data, there are studies out there that show that Georgia falls below the national average in terms of our test scores and college rankings, etc. Now, this may be true for way out in the rural areas. When you get into Atlanta and you get specifically isolated into the city of Atlanta and the metro area, we have some of the top-rated high schools, junior highs, elementary schools in the country. Now, there's a clear difference between being at Lassiter and East Cobb and then a few blocks away, it can change very quickly. So if you're moving to Atlanta, you're living in here, you want to know more about it, make sure that you have an educated agent or at least a resource that understands these school districts, their boundaries, their rankings, so that you don't make a misstep and end up in a bad district. Now, if you've also seen my cost of living video, you know I talk a lot about the colleges and universities here. We have 54 colleges and universities in the Atlanta metro area. That's insane. You know, Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, Emory, these are all high-level, award-winning universities all located here. So again, if you're a family moving here, you're worried about your child's education, don't, because from the lower level all the way up to higher ed, we have some of the best schools in the country located here in Atlanta. So another reason I love Atlanta so much are the people and the diversity here. It's just one of the melting pots of our country. It's such an international transplant city. You get so many religions, so many cultures, so many backgrounds here. Just everywhere you turn, every coffee shop you go into, you have somebody different. You know, so many other cities, it's those people there, and I absolutely respect that. I love people from the Midwest that live in Chicago. I love the Northwesterners that live in Seattle. Those are unique places. Atlanta is the melting pot of all these places. When you come here, you experience so many languages and so many cultures and so many just different personalities and political views. It's an amazing place to live if you love diversity. Reason number 4 on my list is Atlanta's rich history. You see, the city has played a vital role in the development of our country through the years. The first time was during the Civil War in the late 1860s. See, Atlanta was formed as a railroad hub, so it was a strategic location for both the Union and the Confederates. All the materials, supplies was shipped down through this area. It was also important for Sherman's march to the sea. He came through Atlanta, burned the city down, crazy stuff. Fast forward to the 1940s to the 1970s, we were known as the cradle of the civil rights movement. Dr. Martin Luther King, he was born here in Atlanta, Georgia, Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he was raised. He gave a lot of his famous sermons and preached there. That's in downtown. And then every year on MLK Day, we honor the family. They still play a big role in the city, so we have a big parade for them. We honor Dr. MLK. So again, if you're a history buff, Atlanta, Georgia is the place to be. Reason number 3 on my list as to why I love living here is our international access to the world. Atlanta is known as having the world's busiest airport. The airport covers over 4,700 acres. It has 5 parallel runways. It has 192 gates. It's 152 domestic, 40 international. We have international service to North America, South America, Central America, Europe, Africa, Asia. It's ranked the world's busiest airport for the past 5 years in a row by accommodating over 105 million passengers every year. That's 250,000 passengers a day, 950 flights. You can get to 80% of the country in less than 2 hours from the Atlanta airport. Why is this so important? Because we live in an international age, and our families, our friends, they live out of town, they live out of state, they live across the globe. Some places are just difficult to get in and out of. From Atlanta, you can get anywhere. Most of it's a direct flight. I've been all over the world, to Asia, to Europe, to South Africa. It's always just a direct flight. I'm on there and I'm to my destination. And again, I have family in Houston and up in the Northeast. Within a matter of an hour to an hour and a half, I'm at my family. I go to the Caribbean a lot for vacation. Within less than 2 hours, I'm in the Caribbean. The location of us and then being the airport that we are makes it so convenient to the rest of the world. All right, we're coming to the end of the list. Number 2 on my list of reasons why I love living here are just the endless things to do. I don't even know where to start with this clip because it doesn't matter what you like to do. Atlanta has something for you. If you like museums, if you like tours, if you like businesses, ballparks, art museum, things for the kids. I mean, there's so much in downtown. You have the aquarium, which is one of the largest in the world. Just fascinating. That will blow your mind. World of Coca-Cola is down there. If you don't like being inside the city, you want to get out in the suburbs, just endless festivals and arts and crafts and always things to do out there. We're 20 minutes from the mountains. I live right next to Kennesaw Mountain, and I mean, I go out there trail running. I take the dogs out there. There's fishing, there's hiking. Again, just endless opportunities, endless things to do here in Atlanta. All right, finally, my number 1 reason, and it's absolutely my favorite reason, as to why I love living here in Atlanta, and that's the opportunity here. If you've seen my cost of living video, you've heard me rant about it. The city itself, we're the 9th largest city in the US. We're the 4th fastest growing city. We're outpacing all the other large ones. We have 21 of the Fortune 500 companies here, 30 of the Fortune 1000. All of the universities, I mean, I'm just beating a dead horse now. I'm going over and over again. The growth that we're expecting in the next few years, the more businesses that are coming here, it's just a city that's going to be leading the country into the next century. I mean, I have no doubts about that. The industries that are popping up, the movie industry is exploding here, the music industry is exploding. We're not going backwards, we're going forwards, and we're going forward fast. Atlanta is absolutely one of the most amazing places to live. The energy here, the people here, the things to do, the food, the sports, you name it, we got it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it, share it, subscribe, do all that crap that these other guys talk about. I don't care. I just hope you got something out of it. Have a great day.